Most paint producers believe Weathersheet paint is simply matte paint for exterior walls. But that idea is one of the biggest mistakes in paint manufacturing. Because when matte paint is used outside without real protection, you don't just lose paint, you lose customers, you lose trust, and you lose money. One of my students asked me, Coach Glina, is matte paint the same as weathershed paint? That question sounds simple, but it is actually a business level question because many manufacturers today are producing interior matte paint and selling it as weathershed paint. You see, most people think paint manufacturing is about formula, but the real manufacturing is about system. You are not just mixing paint, you are controlling binder strength, pigment dispersion, weather resistance, and durability. That is the differences between a paint mixer and a paint manufacturer. If you're already producing paint and want deeper factory system, you can study the manufacturer lab playlist inside our channel. That is where we break down real factory production system step by step. Now, let's start from the foundation because it's always the foundation that usually confuse the manufacturer or correct the production process. A basic emulsion paint contains water, which acts as a solvent, the titanium dioxide, which gives whiteness and opacity coverage to the paint. Now, calcium carbonate, which reduce cost and adds body bulkiness to the paint. We have the binder, PVA or acrylic, which forms the flame of the paint. We have the nitrosol, which controls the thickness of the paint. Of course, we have the texanol, which helps flame formulation of the paint. We have the ammonia, stabilize the pH level, and we have the surfactant, which helps the mixing of the paint. Now, understand this. This structure produce matte paint, and matte paint is designed for appearances, not for survival. That is where the problem begins. Now, let's move over to the business side. If your paint cannot survive heat, storage, and transportation, then you don't have a manufacturing system. You just have a mixing process. That is to say, if your weather sheet paint cannot survive these three basic system, which is heat, storage, and transportation, then you don't have a weather sheet system. You just have a normal matte mixing process. This is where many manufacturers lose money because failure doesn't happen immediately. It happens months later. And when it happens, refunds begin. If you want to learn how to build a structure paint manufacturing business, you can join the PMB training program. Use the link in the description. And if you want the exact weather sheet formulation, you can get the weather sheet paint ebook through the link also in the description. That ebooks break down multiple formulation step by step and the right way to go ahead in producing colors specially made for weather sheet system paint. Now, let me show you a real example. A student who asked the same question.
Hi everyone, I am Otemabo Elvis Amin. My brand is Talkless Paint Enterprise, situated precisely in Delta State, Efu City, Nigeria. I am a proud student of Glina 5 Enterprise. So Coach Glina is a wonderful coach that makes me to understand some deep things and some secrets as far paint manufacturing paint industry is concerned. So when I come in contact with her from the online, I decided to follow her as a student. And I took my course because I needed to upgrade my skills. And apart from that, I'm always crave for growth. I always am that kind of person that always love learning. So there's every tendency for me to upgrade my skills. And I know because most of the paints I do see around don't really like what they have, their outcome of it. So I decided to go for my upgrade and I decided to choose Glina 5 as my coach and because she's doing well. So when I saw her product, when I saw her online, I decided to be a student. I decided to bring myself down and to become a student to learn from Glina 5. And she has been wow, marvelous with her teachings because she's not just teaching the art to manufacture paint, but she teaches you the business aspect of paint. So I decided to make her my coach as far paint industry is concerned because I know we have a lot of giants there in the painting industry, but I decided to take Glina Fry, Coach Glina, because she is wonderful and I love her teaching. She will break it down for you into two for you to understand what you are doing. So there's every tendency for me to upgrade my skills, to sharpen my skills, and to take my product to the next level. So that is why I decided to become a student with Glina 5. And Coach Glina, she's doing wonderful well with her teachings. So, and apart from that, I decided to plug in because I got a little confused within maths and weathershed, which so many paint industry, even so many giants in the paint industry, they are using maths as weathershed. No, if you heard the word weathershed, you should know it is weathershed can fight against the rainy season and it can fight against the harsh weather which we have, the extreme hot weather which we have over here as far as Nigeria is concerned. So the weathershed is a good product which I go for to Coach Glina to break it down for me to understand. And she did well and she did a good justice to that. She analyzed it down and she breaks it down into to for me to understand and to know the difference between weathershed and maths. So I took that course, I dusted it, and apart from that, I came out not quite long. I came out to that product and I did mine, and I produced over 20 tons of weathershed. My dear, the rest is story. And apart from that, and have handled over 20 buildings with that weathershed. And my clients, which I've attended to for the past few years right now, for the past few months right now, and they are calling me back to back, thanking me for the products which they have used. They are testified to it that automatically it is superb. So once more, I'm here to say thank you to Glina 5, thank you to Coach Glina, thank you to everyone that patronized my products, Douglas Paint Enterprise, and I am Elvis Otemabo Awi. Thank you all, thank you viewers, God bless you all. See you more time.
This is what happens when you stop guessing and start building real coating system. Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Doctorless Paint, Mr. Elvis, for this wonderful review on how you were able to fix your weather sheet paint system. Because years ago, he reached out to me and he asked the same question, Coach Glina, what is the difference between matte paint and weather sheet paint? Or rather, is weather sheet paint matte paint? And I did not only explain to him the differences between matte paint and weather sheet paint, I also prepared the formulation that made him to understand properly the mistakes so many manufacturers out there have been equipped with over decades. And of course, he knows the rest, and he has been an amazing student, and I'm proud of him. He's residing in Delta State, Nigeria, and of course, his product is doing amazing in the market. Thank you so much, Elvis, and I'm very grateful and I appreciate you for trusting us and, of course, joining our Glinified community. Real weathersheet paint includes one, water resistant, which prevents moisture penetration into the paint or the wall. Now, we have UV resistant, which prevents fading and chalking. Yes, I know a lot of people will say, of course, when you produce a good matte paint, it doesn't fade. Not only matte paint, when you produce a good high grade premium emulsion paint, it doesn't paint. And then some persons will say, what if I add the water resistant chemical and the UV resistant chemical into the emulsion paint, or rather the matte paint? Does it gives me a high grade weather sheet paint? No, it doesn't. This is a difference why you see big brands out there in your country sells weather sheet paint more higher expensive than ordinary matte paint or emulsion paint. Don't you think that there's a difference and why it is called weather sheet paint? And also, we have the antifungal system. Yeah, some persons will say, okay, if I just use this chemical that could stop agri or mold growth, is that a real weather sheet paint? These days, even emulsion paint has the same antifungal chemical, but it is not still weather sheet paint. So without these chemicals I mentioned, plus other advanced additives, your paint will fail. It is not weather sheet paint. So we have a special announcement. Yes, through the GMN Global Paint Network, we now have manufacturers producing paint in different cities and countries. If you're a contractor looking for paint supplies or painters, you can connect with manufacturers in your region through this wonderful network. So wherever you are in the world, if you're looking for high, suitable, trusted vendor to take your painting job or to supply you durable, quality, and affordable paint near your area, you can reach out to us, and of course we are going to introduce you to our verified vendor in the GMN network. Real manufacturing don't just sell paint, they design coating system. One, primer. Two, coat. Three, weather sheet top coat. And if you hear me use the word coat, I'm talking about the paint you apply on the wall after your primer, before your top coat. That is how durability is built. If you're starting paint manufacturing business or you're about to venture into this amazing business, don't confuse decoration with protection. If you're already producing, ask yourself, are you redesigning coating or just renaming paint to suit the system? Because real weather sheet paint offers long-term durability, crack resistance, strong adhesion, fungal resistance, and high coverage opacity, which some premium coating last 10 to 15 years. And this is not matte paint we're talking about. Special thanks to our Glinified community, of course, our students worldwide, and our subscribers. Also, to our manufacturer, lab, and professional channel members supporting this channel. Your support is helping build the next generation of paint manufacturers. This is the differences between producing paint and building a paint business. Mixing paint is easy, but designing a system is different. If you want to go deeper, you can join the PMB training program. The link is in the description. Also get the Weathershield ebook, the formulation step by step, and the right way to go about producing the Weathershield paint. The link is also in the description. And remember to watch the manufacturing lab playlist on this channel. And the great announcement, you can connect through the GMN network by connecting with paint manufacturers near you or painters, wherever you are in the world. You just reach out to us and we're going to connect you with our verified paint manufacturer or painters. And don't forget to subscribe, because on this channel, we don't just teach paint, we teach paint manufacturing as a business system. Until next time, bye for now.